Card evolutions are some of the best cards in the game, and a question on everyone's mind is what's the next evolution? For you guys that do not know, we get a brand new card evolution every single month, and I asked you guys, what card evolutions do you want to see next? Today we are bringing those card evolutions to life and seeing what they could be, starting with the bats. Now I personally think the bats are going to be the next evolution we see, and there's a few reasons why. First of all the evolutions so far are all common cards, so it would make sense for the next evolution to be a common. Also, next month is October, the spooky season of Halloween, and bats are a spooky card. So the big question is, what will they do? Every evolution has something unique about them, so what would be unique about the bats? Well, first of all, let's talk about their card cycle. Because they are a 2 elixir card, they would have a 2 card cycle. As for what they would do, I think they would be invisible. Now you might be there thinking to yourself, OOfro, that sounds overpowered, that sounds crazy, that would break the game. But Clash Royale have already released evolutions that have broken the game. These evolutions are crazy and they are normally on the overpowered side. On top of that, last year there was actually a special challenge where bats would spawn into the arena, but they were invisible, permanently invisible, and the only way you could take out these bats was with a spell. This evolution would definitely make bats meta, but it would also do a ton of other things for the game. Right now, the best smooth spell is a log, and the log has been the best smooth spell forever. If this bat evolution does come into the game, it would then make snowball, zap, tornado, all those spells that hit ground and air a lot better, meaning the log wouldn't be as dominant. On top of that, because it does have a 2 card cycle, you wouldn't see it too often. Because honestly, how often do you see evolved skeletons? I think this concept's super interesting and it's definitely something we could see in the future. Moving on to the next evolution concept, it's another common card and this one is the minions. Again, because it's a 3 elixir card, it will have a 2 card cycle, and this evolution is a simple one. The biggest drawback of the minions is their limited range. You guys can see from this demo video, the musketeer absolutely destroys them because they just do not have the range to deal with her. So a minions evolution could be the super minions. For you guys that do not know, these super minions already exist inside the Clash universe. Inside Clash of Clans, you guys can see a normal minion becomes a super minion, and its special ability is that long shot I was talking about. You guys can see the first 8 attacks are done from further away. This is definitely something that could come into Clash Royale and would work. Clash Royale and Clash of Clans exist inside the same universe, and this wouldn't be something out of place. On top of that, it wouldn't be too overpowered. In the meta right now, minions aren't exactly the best, and this evolution could be what they need to become meta. The next evolution we are going to take a look at is the Tesla, a building, a defensive building. And I was thinking, how could they evolve a Tesla? So obviously the Tesla fires out electric bolts, as you can see from the video, but honestly this electric is just for visual effect. It doesn't chain like an electro dragon, and it doesn't stun like an electro wizard. But what if the evolved version had both of those effects? I think that would make it one of the best defensive buildings in the game, and honestly be amazing. Once again, the elixir cost is 4 elixir, so it would have a 2 card cycle, but having a Tesla that chains and stuns the enemy would make it the best defensive building in the game. And I know it sounds really powerful, but you have to remember, you're using this Tesla instead of an evolved firecracker, instead of an evolved royal giant, instead of an evolved knight. So you want that defense to be rock solid if you're sacrificing your offensive evolution. Next, we're going to take a look at the elixir collector, and this one is one of my personal favorites. This one says elixir evolution that steals elixir from your opponent. I think this is a great way to evolve the elixir collector. Now obviously the elixir collector is a 6 elixir card, so it would have that 1 card cycle, but the entire purpose of an elixir collector is to gain that elixir lead over your opponent. So having the evolved version actually steal elixir from them would definitely give you an elixir lead. Now, I don't think we would ever see this. I think it would be a little bit too game breaking, but it's definitely a very cool concept to think about. Just like the evolved ice spirit. This one is a super simple evolution, but I saw this comment a lot. But the evolution would be to drop a free spell when it jumps. Again, it's a 1 elixir card, so it would have a 2 card cycle. And what I really like about this for an evolution is you can play around it very well. It's going going to make you focus on your placements a lot more, so you don't give your opponent good freeze value. On top of that, the Ice Spirit already freezes a target, so it's just very appropriate. Next, we're going to look at the Baby Dragon evolution, and this comment wants to give it the Tantrum effect. For you guys that do not know, the Tantrum effect is when there are no other friendly units around, the Baby Dragon will gain a rage effect. It does once again come from Clash of Clans, and again, I really like this concept for an evolution, just because it makes your pushes a bit more tactical. For example, you have a Baby Dragon going towards your opponent. Do you play your tank in front of it? If you play your tank, it will protect the Baby Dragon, but the Baby Dragon would lose his rage effect. Or do you decide to let this Baby Dragon just go by himself, utilize the rage effect, and it just adds that extra level of strategy to the game. As always, if you have any of your own ideas, leave them in the comments section, and if you enjoyed this video, check out the one above my head where we theory craft more cards.